So last time we spent some time, for those that were here, but we spent some time just taking a P&L, really just an offering memorandum, and looked at revenue and expenses. And we broke down, we just spent time talking about income first. So this is a 100-unit apartment building. This is a real deal, 100-unit apartment building built in the 70s, two-story. All the information is there on the left. And so what we wanted to show and really talk about was some of the vernacular, like loss to lease, for example, and income. I know it's a little small, I'm going to zoom in here, but yeah, typically if you ever look at a deal like an offer, you'll have something that looks just like this. You'll have all your categories, so your income's on the left. There'll be net income, there'll be additional other income, then they show expenses, and then the big number that's really important is net operating income. The columns are typically, again, off of a brochure, they'll say something called June 21 T12. T12 is a trailing 12 months, so the last 12 months, in this case from June 21 to June 20, right? And then they'll annualize it in a T3, so then now it's the trailing 3 months. And so you start to see like, oh, well, the last 3 months are improving. This might be a really good deal. So I'll show you this zoomed in a little bit so it's a lot easier to see. But
can you explain a little bit more in depth why it's so important to look at the T3 compared to the T12?
Yeah, so first we always, whatever kind of deal you're looking at, you always want to understand the whole picture, right? So 12-month snapshot's really good. Sometimes you can go back 2 years, 3 years. It just really depends on what's provided and what you ask for. A lot of times, you know, as operators, our goal is to buy a deal, improve it. It might take time to improve it, right? That might be renovations, changing out the tenant base. That might take 3, 4, 5, 6 months. So the first few parts of that T12, the first few months might look bad, right? Might have high vacancy, low revenue, right? High expenses. Then as you start trending towards something better, everything is based on this income growth, right? So net operating income is what drives the value, right? So I put right here, I want you guys to do some math real quick. We purchased this deal. We didn't actually buy this deal. It was a sample deal for $80,000 a door, or $8 million. The going in NOI, or net operating income, was $508,000. So if I wanted to understand what the cap rate was, what the cap rate was upon entry, or when we bought it, I would do some math. I would take 508,000 and I would divide it into 8 million. That would give you a cap rate. But long answer to your question, you want to see what's happening now and also what was happening before. Is it improving? If it was the other way around, like it's declining, that could be possibly that operation is most likely something going on with the management company. The tenants are, you know, maybe being more aggressive on the way they're taking care of the property. Any and all of those things, usually it's bad management. So, or something's happening in the market, like maybe a whole new complex got built down the street and everyone's moving, right? So what do you do to retain your tenants?
But that's just a 3-month snapshot, right?
So the real deal, the reason brokers use it, right? No dig on brokers, is usually the last month or two prior to sale is the best month for whatever reason. It's kind of funny how that works, right? That means let's say this was 90% full, 12 month, the average was 90%, but the last 3 months it's 100%. Well, we did whatever we could to get you guys to come and rent our apartment. Right? I don't care if your credit score sucks, if you have a job. I might be, they call it filling body, right? You're just filling up the units. Not saying that's what happens, but brokers wouldn't do it. The owners and the property managers have been instructed, right, by the owners to say, I got to sell this thing, and the way I'm going to sell this thing is maximizing this number, right? Come hell or high water. So fill it up. And so the trend, I mean, we're underwriting deals at T1, trailing 1 month, right? And if you took any kind of education platform, they'll say never, ever, ever make a decision on what happened a month ago, because it's 1 month, right? Highly competitive market. Decisions are sometimes made on 1 month. It makes me still really nervous to do that. I still want to look at 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, right? And really understanding the market will help you make that choice. But that's it. Yeah. So did that answer your question? So again, last month we talked about overall income, scheduled market rent. And this time I wanted to spend time and talk about other income. And so laundry, rubs, and other income. So laundry is pretty self-explanatory, right? In this case, they're earning $114 a door per year in laundry. So this is a 100-unit complex, right? $950 a door per month, right? Rubs, $28. So Rubs, you guys know what Rubs is? You can't. You know what Rubs is? You're like, I don't know. So it's essentially, it's a billing system, right? Utility billing system. So Steven pays $628 to rent our apartment, but we also want to charge you for utilities, and we don't have a master meter, we don't have an individual meter, right? So you don't have to go get your own electric bill, but you have to have electricity. So the building pays for the electricity, but we want to charge you a portion of that for your apartment.
Hey, Mike, if our electric bill is $100,000 a year, can you charge the tenants $110,000 a year?
You cannot, Michael. You cannot become your own utility. PG&E or SRP, those guys don't like that, right? But we could make $99,000 a year, right? Meaning we could charge up to that. We can't make more than what we're being charged.
Doesn't that depend on the state?
You still can't make money on it.
Right, well, some states are like 80%, you can charge back some or more.
Yeah, so a good RUBS program, so RUBS is Ratio Utility Billing System is the name of the acronym. There's the acronym, but just means if Steve's in a 1-bedroom and Michael's in a 2-bedroom, Michael's going to pay a little bit more, right? Because he's got a bigger unit, he's going to use more water, etc., more electricity.
It depends upon the square feet.
And square footage plays into it. That's fine. So in this case, only $28 is being charged for RUBS. And then other income. So other income could be pets. Michael's got like 6 cats. We're going to charge him more than $38, right? Cover parking, storage is an opportunity. So there's lots of ways to create other income. In this case, if we look at rent, you might find out that we're already really close to market, maybe. But what else could we do here, right? So how do you create this? Because every dollar you put in, you can get 6x that in value, right? So did you guys figure out the 6.3 is the cap rate? Cool. So let's say we have room to grow, right? Maybe we can get, instead of $28, can we get $50, right? So what's the difference there? $12? $24, right? So if you could earn $24 more per unit, so 100 units, so $24 more. Did I do that math right? $22 more, sorry. $22 more times 12 times 100. What does that equal? $26,000 of additional income, right? All right, we didn't have to do anything to create that, right? There's no expense associated, so it should drop. We say drop to the bottom line. If I divide that by, what was it, 6.3? $420,000. So $420,000. So we bought this for $8 million by taking one move, which was to increase RUBS by $22 a door. We created almost $500,000 in value, right? Because again, that's how properties are valued, right? Yeah. Where is this property? I might have fudged some numbers to get this to work. No, but no, these deals do exist, right? It's just looking at things differently, because most folks are going to look at market rent, right? And if you're looking at, Phoenix is challenging. The price per door, there isn't anything at $80,000 a door, by the way. I'd love to find that. Not here, right? But there are other markets where there is, right? You go to New Mexico, you go to Texas, there's still stuff selling for $80,000, $90,000. And the rents, honestly, at $600, you're seeing that too. So the deals do exist. This came from Texas, right? Texas deal. So if it's not rent and it's not expenses that you can adjust, then you got to look at what else can I do, right? The other clue, I apologize for going back and forth. The other clue was I was putting in, leasing office has an unused room of approximately 600 square feet. What could we do with that? Right? We could make it rent, right? That's one. What else could we do? A gym? A gym doesn't make me any money. Vending is good. Yeah. You guys seen Amazon lockers anywhere? Yeah. So people would, apartments are challenging to deliver, especially in the holidays.
I heard someone, they did like bike lockers. So
yeah.
Make the bike or something. It's like
indoor bike. I mean, $25. It's really, if you think about it, storage, bike. Apartments are usually smaller. There's not a lot of extra storage. You just have a storage bin, but lockable bins. Those are all really great ways to create income. So if you did bike locker, you're not going to get 100 people to do it, but you might get 10% of the population. Or Amazon lockers could do that too. Yeah, that's I don't know, any other input, any other ideas? Like, I'm not the only guy. I just want to put this stuff up and share it. What do you think?
You're a genius, Mike.
I'm not a genius. Definitely not a genius.
Real quick, apartments are so cool because that's why I got out of single family stuff, because it's, you exit by 80 units, so just with the bike example, $25, let's say 10%, so 8 people did it, and you multiply that, I think it's like $2,400 a year of extra cash flow. But then at a 6.3 cap rate, you just increase your value by 38 grand, just by $25. So
Yeah, in a room that's unused.
yeah,
Right. So I think as the market gets so tight and you get competitive, and you got to go, how do I shave off something? These are ways you got to think about it. Right. You got to just slice it differently. The old, I'm just going to increase rents, which is easy, right? I'd love to do that. Or renovate. Renovate costs a lot of money. How can we get creative without having to spend a lot of money, or spend as little as you can to maximize the return? So
Put a big old cell tower on the roof.
that's actually, really good idea. I had an old client that did that, and he was making like $1 million a year because it was Verizon, T-Mobile, and somebody else. So, and every one of them on the same tower. And he didn't have to do anything. He just gets a check. Billboards are very profitable. Any and all those things are good ideas. Covered parking could be good too.
So why can't we do a rent as make a studio? We are going to spend 2,000 on the business.
You could. You absolutely could. Yeah.
And you will be drawing a rent of 650 per month, like 12, or you pay more than that.
So what's the math on that? Show I didn't do the math. I didn't think about that.
Yes.
What's the math? So let's see. So $650 a month, right?
So it's a 600 square feet, maybe a single room.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a studio. And
So we'll have. So the only thing I'll say on that is it's $7,800 a year. Is that right? 650 times 12. $7,800. I do have an expense against that, right? Because I got to.
yeah.
That's the regular expense of $3,200 divided by 0.063. Yeah, 50 grand. Yeah, that works too. That works too. I don't think there's a wrong answer. I just think you got to look at the options and go, what else could we do? Yeah. That's all we have. Want to say thank you for you guys